Hey guys, today we're going to be starting a new series of the channel called The Underdogs, and the premise behind this series is going to be spotlighting sort of units that have been forgotten by the game but are still very good quietly, so essentially very underrated units. And for the first installment in this series, I'm going to be taking a look at the yellow Bojack. Now, Bojack released on the Final Form Color Banner along with Zamasu, but I do feel like this guy's heavily underrated these days. Even like after he came out, he was already underrated, but now that how many months have passed? Like 4 months since he released, maybe 3 or 4 months at this point. I do think that he's fallen even more under the radar than he was when he first released. And now the big thing about this guy is that he's actually a gigantic Super Saiyan killer. So he does 40% blast damage inflicted to Super Saiyans, and then he's also like an anchor or a crisis unit, however you want to call it, where he actually gets his health back and gets more damage when he's the last unit remaining on your team, and he gradually gets stronger as the battle goes on by increasing his blast damage. Now, the thing with Bojack is that he was the first like real. Well, I don't want to say real barrier unit, but he was the first unit with a barrier that actually chained into his strike and blast arts cards. We now have Buhan and then the buffed Android 17 who can do the same thing as well. But I feel like that's an extremely underrated utility to have as a unit in this game. But with all those abilities in his kit, I feel like Bojack has the potential to be like one of the meta-defining units of the meta that we're in right now, which is the Fusion Warrior meta. Especially with Super Vegeta running around, this guy can absolutely decimate Super Vegeta. So let's just take a look at the equips real fast on this Bojack. Now, I haven't used this team at all, like over the past month, so things might get a little rocky just because I haven't been playing with this guy in probably like a month and a half at this point. But I do think we can make something happen with him. Obviously, in terms of strike attack, he's not going to be doing that much, but his blasts are going to be hitting like a torpedo. So, with that said, let's see just how good this guy is. Alright, so we got a God Key team with some fusions on here. And now with the team I'm using, you actually do have some options here. I did decide to bring this Red Broly, but you do have the Gogeta units, you have Janemba, you have... who else? You got like Metal Cooler, stuff like that, who could fit on this team. Now the only issue with those is that they don't have a Z ability that buffs the movies tag, but I think they're still great fits for this team. In fact, I may go ahead and swap out this Red Broly for Blue Gogeta at some point during this video, just because I think Blue Gogeta is an exceptional unit, but even though he doesn't buff the tag, he's still certainly good enough to include. Now, I do like leading off with the Bojack, because if he takes damage at the beginning of the battle, it's not a big deal, because later on he can just heal it off if he's the last unit on the team, and I think that's a pretty easy ability to manipulate in your favor. Hopefully we'll be able to show that off here, but hopefully it doesn't actually get down to that, because I would prefer to have some nice smooth battles here. He's going to go into the Vegito here, but we'll see. Oh, it didn't. It's kind of unfortunate that he didn't bring any Super Saiyan units here. Let me go into Broly. I actually haven't used any of these units in quite some time, so I'm quite rusty in using the Broly units, as well as Bojack actually, but I don't expect too much difficulty just because they are still very, very good. You can go ahead and transform, heal all that damage away. That's good. Yeah, Broly still does a lot of damage. We'll stay in with Broly. I just meant to dodge that, but if he goes for a Rising Rush or anything like that, yeah, Bojack should be able to tank this easily. Has he used a green card? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't expect Bojack to die from this. Oh, certainly won't because of that. can actually Rising that Vegeta with the Broly, the red Broly. I don't think it'll kill, just because we have 0 buffs on this guy. He does do a lot of damage, but I just don't think he has what it takes to take down this red Vegito. He's very tanky. Okay, yeah, sure. I guess that's payback. I'm actually okay with this, a battle where no one lands the Rising Rush. I'm more than happy about that. So this will go on for a while. I do want to bring in the Bojack as soon as possible, just because him taking damage is going to be essential for later when he's the last unit live, because he'll be able to heal all that off instantly. So we'll go into him here. Wait a second. Do vanish there. He's going to go into Vegito here probably. Or not. We could just kill him. Okay, we go into Broly here immediately. Do this. Let's go with that. He's going to go into Goku probably, but we can work with that. Alright, so I think this will actually kill. It didn't kill. I think we're going to go right into this. Yeah. Wait a second. Then go like that. Let's charge up for a second. Go into more strikes. This won't kill either, but it'll buy us some time. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I gotta do this again. Okay, that worked out. I'm gonna actually go into Bojack here. Use this. He's gonna sidestep in a second, so we'll go with that. Go for some taps. Go into Red Broly to buy some time for Purple Broly to come back. Pop that. He's going again for the sidestep. See if this can kill him. I don't think it will, but could also feint. It actually did end up killing, so pretty good showing. Alright, so an androids team. Interesting. We'll do the same setup. Now the only issue is that Bojack's not going to be getting his bonus damage to Saiyans, obviously because there's no Saiyans on their team. But I still think if we can get him set up as the last unit left, with his heal and damage bonus, he'll still do more than fine damage. The only issue is going to be the cell. I mean, we do have the red Broly, but I don't know. He's just gonna go into cell here, right? Yeah. Just go into our Broly. Alright. We'll stay in with Broly for now. He's gonna go into cell here, so we can go with this again. Actually went to Android 17, interesting. So now we win. Because he can't switch. That was a fun one. Regen, huh? So I expect a Buhan lead. Possibly Cell. So this is pretty safe. This is pretty safe too, honestly. I do think this is just fine though. Yeah, well, let's not deviate from what's working for us already. I think Regen's a pretty rare matchup these days, just because it isn't in the best spot, but you do see it from time to time. Buhan is just nuts. Cell is still really good too, but with Super Vegeta running around, it's just like, why even bother running it? He just destroys it. So it's like, why gimp yourself? There's a lot of units that also do increased damage to regen these days too. You have the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, the Purple Trunks. I mean, there's a lot. So Evil Boo too. And now the third form Purple Frieza too. Yeah, I started with him. Piccolo, huh? Let's go back into Bojack. I'm okay with Bojack taking damage here again. Alright, we only need one more Dragon Ball and we have it in our hand already. I think we'll go into Broly here, wait for a second, do this. Interesting. Alright, if this works out, we're basically done here. Buhan could bring it back. Okay, I think Buhan could still bring it back for him because he's just insane, but I think this is pretty much a wrap. Hello? Alright. Alright, so that works. Would be surprised if he just forfeits here, but... Alright, we're not doing that. This team's working out a lot better than I thought. Nice. I'm just gonna leave this guy out here, honestly. This is gonna do a lot. Yep. Now we can bring this guy in and transform. We don't have any strike arts, so we have to dodge this manually. Let's tap him. I'm okay if he rushes us, because we won't die. Alright. A little bit laggy, but it's alright. Alright, so Piccolo's gone. I'm just gonna keep doing this. Yeah, so he's healed. He's basically healed up from like very low health. Take it with this guy. Yeah, charged too long. That's okay. He's waiting for this like, rising us? Or not? I could finish it here, but let's try and finish it with Bojack. It didn't finish him. Alright, now he's dead. Alright, so this is Team No Synergy, which is pretty apparent. Just kidding, it actually has decent synergy. So I think this... I've actually been trying to find a Fusions team this whole time because that's what Bojack wants to face. So it's good that we're ending on this because this will be our last match of the video. I do expect him to bring the 3 on the left just because, you know, Fusions. But I think the Red Vegito could actually prove to be pretty troublesome for us. I mean, obviously if he locks us in, we do have, I think, what is it, 10 counts to survive. I think it's not out of the question for Bojack to be able to survive that because he is very tanky, but if he saves the Rising Rush just for that situation, locks Bojack in, then Risings, like, there's something we can do about that. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But we'll do our best to avoid that. I do imagine he'll be starting with Super Vegito, so we're starting with Bojack. He'll have to switch out into the Red Vegito, then we can switch out into either Broly. Probably the red one. Or, yeah, probably the red one, because then if he switches into this... Okay, never mind. He's going to go into the red Vegito here. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Now we can go to this Broly. Oh, did not want to do that. Wanted to go into Broly. Did not want to do that either. Wanted to wait a little bit longer. That's okay. Now we go into Bojack here. Tank all of his attacks because he's really good tank. So now that he transformed, we can do extra damage against him. So thank you for transforming there. I can't even charge up because it's lagging so bad. This is gonna not hit. Yeah, that's what I want to avoid. That's annoying. I'm gonna just try and avoid it, or buy time. So we bought enough time, I guess? Like, he just wasn't attacking us. So we go into Red Broly here. Interesting how we had time to do that. Yeah, we're dead. So now we do this, beat out the Rising Rush. Oh, guess you didn't want to Rising Rush us for some reason? Okay. Let's just transform here, get it out of the way. And we'll go with this. Of course. What was I expecting? And now we get Rising Rushed. Or that. Let's try and do as much damage as possible here. We do have our main ability coming up soon. This is pretty bad lag. This won't kill, probably. Yeah, it didn't kill. I'm okay with that. I don't know why you would do that. Alright, you're dead. And now we just play the waiting game. Give us another strike card, strike card, strike card, strike card, or not. Strike card, there we go. Oh, you just lost. You just lost. Because now, you have no Rising Rush for Bojack. Now he can remove all of our buffs with his main ability, which is pretty scary still. But just like that. And he'll do a decent amount of damage with this, but we can pop our main and just decimate him. So hopefully we can show this off here. Let's do it. Let's dodge that. Let's go in with this. Watch this, watch this. Unfortunately, we didn't have more ki to do another attack, but he saw what that did. And that's a wrap. Bojack taking it home.